Hey everyone, I'm making this video because I want you all to live your best lives. I want you all to feel the best that you can feel. And I really think that these points I've written down can help you just have the go ahead to feel as good as you can and really embrace, your highest emotional state. And so I've just written some notes down. Don't mind me looking down. If you found this video, I feel like there's a reason. I don't think things happen for a reason. I think everything's meant to happen or we attract it into our lives. So there's probably something beneficial that you can get from this. So the first thing I think is your energy attracts your reality. And the law of attraction states that like attracts like, and when you allow yourself to feel good, you actually raise your vibration and you attract more positive experiences into your life. So this is all about feeling good and kind of giving yourself the go ahead to feel good if you maybe have other blocks that are telling you the opposite. Feeling good is your natural state. Joy, love, peace are your default states. Many people suppress happiness due to guilt, conditioning, or fear or judgment, but allowing yourself to feel good reconnects you to your true self. And if you ever look at children, most of the time they just are like, obviously everybody has different ups and downs and emotions, but they don't suppress any of those good emotions. You can just see everything on their face, and you can really see when a child's just so excited and so, in the moment. And I really feel like we get told to shut down or stop laughing or quit being so loud, or like there's a time where we're not supposed to be in that bliss when we start the school systems or maybe at church or and I think that we can carry this over into our lives, and we want to maybe seem professional. Even different cultures thinking about this now. When I lived with a bunch of guys from Russia, I was actually in Sri Lanka living with Russians, but they called me a monkey, and they called me because I was so smiley and so like, they thought I was either always smoking weed, which I wasn't, or they just were just thought it was so weird that I was always so happy and so smiley and so giddy, and they're like, she's always happy, and they'd tell the other Russian friends, and they all thought it was really funny because I'm just like naturally kind of giddy and very smiley and social. And I guess in Russia they told me that it's not normal for people to be so just happy and showing it. Like, they do really suppress it, and I don't know if that's a politeness thing or where it comes from, but we do choose different behaviors and how we want to present ourselves around different people in different situations. Like, you might not go into an interview like, hey guys, like bubbly. You might be a little more serious and want to show that you're professional. But like, really, I think honoring the truth when your happiness is there, not faking it, and not being fake smiley so that you're just actually suffering inside, but you're like smiling on the outside. Like, maybe don't do that, but just allowing yourself the freedom to just be in that natural state and laugh out loud or be giddy on the street or playful or skip or have fun. The other point is you manifest faster when you feel good. Your emotional state determines the speed of your manifestation. So the higher vibration, the easier to attract desires into your life effortlessly. I've talked a lot about this, but I believe we're always manifesting no matter what. So it's more about being aware of what state we're in and what emotions we're sitting in the most, because that's really what's going to attract like vibrating things. So if you're feeling loss all the time or feeling like you don't have something, you might get more of that feeling and experience more loss. Or you might be feeling super abundant and super grateful even if you don't have much, and you're going to start to get more and more that you just starts showing up into your world because you're in that state of feeling grateful. And then It breaks the cycle of guilt and limitation. Many people feel they must earn happiness or wait for external success to feel good. In reality, happiness is a choice you can make now, independent of your circumstances. So, choosing to be happy or choosing to be a victim or choosing to be sad or choosing all these different things, it's all a choice. And it really comes down to what are you going to decide for yourself and who do you want to show up as. And you might have been taught, depending on like how you were raised or what different things, is that you need to work hard. You don't deserve it. You don't get to just be generally happy. You have to be in fear. You have to worry about stuff. I don't know where I even picked this up from, because I had a really easy and lovely upbringing as a child, but I slowly got more and more fear as I got through my teens that, I had to be working so hard and I had to be doing all these things, that if I wasn't doing those things, then I wouldn't be able to be happy. Like I was almost like too much of a workaholic, and I think it stressed me out when I wouldn't be able to achieve as much, or I wasn't able to do that. I would just feel like I was a failure. And I think that there's lots of different dynamics we can all tell ourselves, right? And so looking at yourself and where are you telling yourself you can't be happy? Where are you showing up for yourself where you are letting yourself be happy, and kind of analyzing that could be really good. And then feeling good improves your health. Positive emotions reduce stress, boost immunity, and improve overall well-being. When you prioritize joy, your body responds with better energy and vitality. So generally, like, cortisol and stress hormones and all these things that are associated with fear and the opposite just are deteriorating our body and causing us to age quicker and all these things. And I really think there's something to it, that being in your happy state, your cells are responding to that. We're so much water. And they've proven that water holds emotion or can react to emotion. It just, to me, it might be woo woo for a lot of you, but I feel like this is just, even there's been studies proving the placebo effect, right? Like if you believe something's healing you, then it does. And this has been proven, and it's super well known with Eastern medicine that they would do this often way back in the day, that they would like treat something and the person would be healed, even though it would be just like a sugar pill or, a fake thing, because the mind is so powerful that when we think we're being healed, we can be. And so definitely being happy and choosing to be happy, our cells are responding in a way that is to that happiness. They're feeling safe, like your whole body's going to be working in a better state. And then you become a magnet for abundance. Abundance flows to those who embody energy of joy and gratitude. When you allow yourself to feel good, you align with financial, emotional, and spiritual abundance. And this is another thing, is that you're just like a magnet, basically. When you're happy and radiant and true happiness, not like faking it, but when you're actually finding your true happiness, you're just radiant. And this is going to be a magnet for actual abundance, for connections, for new opportunities, for so many things, right? Because you see other people that, like, you might judge them if you're kind of not in that state, or you aren't happy, or you're thinking you have to work really hard, and you see someone not working hard and they're super happy, and you're just like, oh, well, that person's like just got it so easy, they don't even work for it. Like, we just, as a society, we kind of do that, and we can judge people even though we truly want that, and it's something that we actually would want to embody. So that's just another thing I wrote down. It inspires others. When you give yourself permission to be happy, you unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And so you're just going to uplift other people around you. When you're in a state of happiness, it's contagious. Like, it's hard to be if someone smiles at you or waves or tells you a funny joke or does something that's really uplifting, it's hard to stay in a negative state. Even if someone just teases you into like smiling a little, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm being a little silly, right? So yeah, it's inspiring for other people. You don't need a reason to feel good. This is a big one, is I think like we think a lot of times we want to justify and logically put on this rule of it's the weekend, I'm allowed to feel good now, like you're allowed to feel good cleaning toilets, you're allowed to feel good doing whatever you're doing, you're allowed to put on fun music, you're allowed to like let yourself do what you need to do. If you need a day of rest, a day of sleep, if you need to dance, if you need to not see someone, if you need to take that time for yourself, like you're allowed to feel good and you're allowed to do that for yourself, because ultimately you need to feel good for yourself so that you can also bring that feeling good to other people around you and uplift them. I don't think we're going to progress as a society if we aren't living true to what's healthy for us, what's good for us. And if we're just sacrificing all the time for our jobs, other people, just to get money or to do things, it's just going to be draining and draining and draining. And we're just all, people just get burnt out 11:11 on the clock. Just really, I guess, choose yourself, choose to feel good. You don't need a reason. You're allowed to be in that. And you can still accomplish your goals, you can still finish your work, you can still do everything. If you're feeling super happy and stuff, it doesn't mean that you don't just do your work. Like, sure, just do the work and choose to feel good about doing the work, because you know that it's okay. Then you can feel good after that about doing something else. Life becomes effortless. When you embrace joy, resistance fades, creativity flows, and life becomes more aligned. Things that once felt difficult start falling into place naturally. So when you're starting to just feel good and be in this state more and more, it just gets easier and easier, and everything gets easier. You're not bothered by things because you're just in a higher vibrational state and you're used to feeling good and you're used to just embracing it each day, and but it's choosing it. You still will have days that you're not feeling good, and it's okay to have a day or two like that, but don't like linger in it. Pull yourself up and choose another new day to wake up and decide to be different again. And the last thing I wrote is just you deserve it. You are worthy of happiness simply because you exist. Feeling good is not selfish. It's essential for living a fulfilled and empowered life. Every person deserves to feel good. You'd want that for anyone that you love and care about. You'd never want a kid not to feel good. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there that are in such a low state that they want everyone else to feel their misery. And if that's you, I'm really sorry that you're in that state. You don't need to feel like that. Everybody deserves to feel good, and you deserve to feel good. You deserve to start feeling good right now. It doesn't matter your health condition, your gender, your age, your sex, whatever situation you're in. If you're in a terrible situation with your parents, or you're stuck at home, or your job, or your body's failing, or you have cancer, or any of those things, it doesn't need to be the reason that you're feeling bad and being a victim, or feeling like the world, it's never going to get better, or you feel like you're in too much pain to feel good. You have to still find ways to feel good through all of that, because little by little, it's like a tumbleweed or a snowball. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon you just won't even be realizing that you're just effortlessly feeling good. It seriously works like this. I feel I had depression when I was really young. I didn't know that's what it was because I was at 10 years old, so I had no idea that I was actually kind of depressed. But I got myself out of it, first of all, by faking it, which I said not to do, but people would ask me what was wrong, and I didn't want to have to go in and explain to my friends or people at school. I just wanted it to go away. So I just kind of faked it. I would just fake smile all the time, like, and I started doing it because everything shows on my face. I'm still like that. Like, I'm an open book. Like, nothing escapes me. Everything just shows on my face. I have a really hard time faking it. But I just started smiling through it. But the only way I could smile through it was making myself think of things that felt good to smile about. So I'd have to be like playing kittens, or like cozy I'm snug in bed right now with this. And like, I was 10 years old, so I don't know what I was thinking about, but I remember doing this and having my go-to things that made me feel all right. And slowly I actually just started getting rid of the depression and actually became a happier person. And I looked back at it and I was like, oh my God, like I was actually like, oh, pretty much almost like thinking suicide thoughts and like all this dark stuff. And it's crazy to look back at it because I just was so young. I had no concept of all that. Like, I didn't know what depression or suicide or all this stuff was. But I slowly got myself out of it by deciding to just kind of fake my way being happy. And that worked for me. And since then, and since all of that, I've just realized that we just all deserve it. Nobody deserves to wake up and feel bad and feel crummy. And there's things that we can dwell on that are bad, but there's so much we can dwell on that is beautiful and lovely and sweet. And if you haven't seen anything, nothing that could be good in this life, then you need to start looking, because there's so much good in the world. And especially with this time, we're just being flooded so much with things that are the negative, or news that's a bummer. But there is equally just as much news and just as much beauty and just as much sweetness and just as much love and just as much progression to a better world. And I just hope that you all find those things, and those things to make you feel happy, because you are so worthy of it. You deserve it. You are such a beautiful light beam, and you have so much to offer the world around you and yourself. And the more that you do this, and the more that you feel good, the more everything is going to pour into your life, because that literally is the law of attraction and manifestation. You're always manifesting. So if you can feel good and you can find a way to feel happy, everything else is just going to happen more effortlessly. You're still going to take action, but you're going to be happy doing it. So that's why this is a long video, but I came on here to chat about that because I love you all so much, and I want you to feel good and get all the things that you deserve to have in this life. If you like this, give it a thumbs up or subscribe. Sending you all so much love. Bye bye.